beginning with a very important milestone. Well, we have with us the DSCI ISPA MOU exchange ceremony to begin with, that is stepping up focus on space cyber security. Well, as we all know, that space sector is one of the strategic sectors that plays an exceedingly important role in the country's national security. And keeping in view the burgeoning threats faced by rapidly expanding space sector, DSCI and Indian Space Association are joining forces to step up the focus on cybersecurity posture of country's space sector. And to firm up the collaboration, DSCI and ISPA are formally signing a MOU. And to shed more light on the partnership, let me call on stage with the biggest round of applause, let's welcome Wing Commander Satyam Kushwaha, Director, Indian Space Association. Let's put our hands together. May I also please invite on stage Air Vice Marshal Dr. Devesh Vatsa, VSM Advisor, Cybersecurity and Critical Technologies, DSCI. Let's put our hands together, everyone. So before we sign the MOU, we'd love to hear a few words from you of what this association means.
Okay. Very, very good morning to you. I hope the energy is back, because when you hit your hands together, clap together, a lot of energy is generated, isn't it? Don't clap for me. Clap once again to bring the energy in. Yes. Here we go. So we must understand, gentlemen, one very important aspect today, that when we talk about cyberspace, and cyberspace, when we say, it cuts across all the dimension of land, sea, air, because I'm a defense officer. You have got land forces, you have got air forces, you have got naval forces, right? But we must understand there's another dimension to it, which is called space. But the cyber cuts across the land, air, sea, and space. So Data Security Council of India, as you know, every year we are bringing this conference in front of you. Why? Because all the thinking mind who are working in the domain of cyber, they come together, deliberate, collaborate, collegiate, and cooperate. And very, very importantly, communicate with each other, to share the ideas and how to make this cyberspace secure, safe for all. Do you agree with me? So now what we have decided is, it is not only to safeguard our space where we live, it is where we can't reach, that is the space, but yes, we reach there also. So this aspect is also very, very important to us, that we take this fifth dimension also with us, right? Which is, fourth dimension is cyberspace. We are not talking of space. And that's what I've got Wing Commander Satyam Kushwaha with me. He is representing Indian Space Association. So good round of applause for him. And this MOU will bring us together to work together and see what all can be done to not only secure the cyberspace, but also to secure the space. So Kushwaha, I would like to listen from you what your organization does. I know about it. Let the audience also know what you guys are doing in the domain of space. Over to you.
Thank you very much, sir. Ladies and gentlemen, a very good morning to you, and very inspired by the claps we got. They brought some energy inside us. So the AISS Association was created on the directions of the Honorable Prime Minister, Mr. Narendra Modi. The directions were passed in 2020, December, when some startups reached out to him and asked for a better environment for the space startups. January, I joined the effort along with me on DG, Lieutenant General A.K. Bhatt, who had some other engagement, so he couldn't be here. So together, then we sat down and created this organization. And this is the only association which has been launched by the Prime Minister himself. And that was on the 11th of October, 2021. We started with about 7-8 members. Today, we are hitting 80 members. So all the top space companies of India, funded, non-funded, starting from L&T downwards to the youngest startup, they are part of us. The role of ISPA is very all-encompassing. We were created to be the voice of the industry, to bridge the gap between the government and the industry, as well as to work for creating a strong commercial space ecosystem in India, which will extend its footprint globally to make India join the global supply chain in the field of space. As far as the scope of our activities are concerned, anything that is to do with space on ground and in space, and anything that lies in between and is within the purview of ISPA. So if I may list it out specifically, anything to do with space-based communications, either as a service or manufacturing, anything to do with rockets, their construction on ground, the ground infrastructure, platforms in space, which include satellites, their systems, sensors, the downstream communication, or the communication downwards, the ground segment, analysis of data, dissemination, reaching to your systems, to GNSS, which you understand as NAVIC, GPS, that stuff. Deep space communication, human space flights, geospatial technologies and their applications, space security, space sustainability, space asset protection, space infrastructure, space investments, new technology inductions, legal and policy frameworks, regulatory frameworks, licensing, building association with global organizations to derive synergies between various countries, anything to do with ITU related work on spectrum. I'm sure many of you must be following ET Times or Business Times and all those newspapers which are covering spectrum wars. So anything to do space, ISPA has been at the forefront. In fact, it is a very strong lobbying by us that ensured that the SATCOM spectrum was protected, and it is to be assigned by administrative means and not through routine auction, which is as part of the Telecom Act in Schedule 1, if you guys follow that. So it's a very, very all-encompassing ecosystem. And in each, the biggest achievement of ISPA, I would say, was the launch of the defense space initiatives. When we used to initially talk with the system, we were told that there were very less funds available, and we thought that there is to be a new approach applied to orchestrate a bigger program. And that is where we worked with the MOD. And in a span of 6 months, I mean, generally it's said that it takes very long time in India, but in a span of 6 months, starting from 25th May to launch of the defense space challenges, 75 challenges by the Prime Minister on the 19th of October 2022 at Gandhinagar Defense Expo. $1.6 billion government funded program on 75 challenges, which actually represent a full stack of space, was launched. And you'll be glad to hear that they were under Make 1, Make 2 category, IDEX. Because of the lessons learned, a new category called Aditi got created where the scope goes to 50 crores. So a lot of things have happened with the same Indian ecosystem, right under the nose of ISRO, DRDO and their blessings. It was possible to be done. And that is what ISPA has been able to achieve. It's never happened in the history of India. And this is where, yes,
we require a very big round of applause, gentlemen, on this aspect.
And this is where cybersecurity comes into it. Because space is seamless. It allows you to reach globally and in a most uninterrupted manner, provided your assets are working fine. So whether it is a ground infrastructure, or I would say even the HR, the employees, because it's a strategic sector. Remember, this space ecosystem that we have, it's a dual use ecosystem, and this will make a future space force, which will come. For that, foundational level cyber security, starting from your home, from your office, right on to the complex technologies that you make, which are on ground as in space. And space becomes more important because a satellite doesn't come back to you for repair. Once it is gone, it is gone. And space systems require long, huge investments. There are long gestation periods. So not many people jump into this bandwagon. But still, I'll call upon the cyber industry which is present here. for understanding space systems with much more detail, so that they can come out with innovation which will suit the space industry. Remember, the systems work very differently there. You need low power consumption, miniaturized systems. I mean, you'll be shocked to hear that people have converted this big servers into a matchbox size. That is the level of innovation that is happening in Indian space industry. Packing with innovation at 6 watt. So this is what is happening. What you guys need to do is engage with the space startups, sit with them, especially for those who are based out of Bangalore, understand what their requirements are, educate them where they lack. They are techies, but the sensitization of cybersecurity could be, increased much more. And that is where we felt that there is a strategic need to engage with DSCI. And I've known DSCI for a long time, since my days in the National Security Council, where initially I used to handle, along with a colleague of mine before the NCSC came up, some aspects of it for the military wing. And then I'm incubated as a startup in the quantum security domain also. So I have had a very good association with DSCI. And Vinayak sir, he may be busy somewhere. He has been a great mentor to us. And he, along with AISS Marshall, both have been responsible for pushing us and bringing us on the signing table, I would say. So a big applause for him too. And we thank DSCI for having given us this platform to speak about what the space industry is doing. And trust me, our boys are designing landers with the moon.
Great.
They're doing fantastic work.
Thank you, Satyam. I think you have briefed the audience quite nicely about. I would say it's a business opportunity for all the business guys who are working in the domain of cybersecurity products and services. You must expand into the space domain as well. You gentlemen must understand that in times to come, when your 5G is going to be replaced by 6G, and as the report says, by 2035, we will have a communication system which will be seamless. Today, you have got phone in your hand, which only the terrestrial network you connect, right? And if you want to connect with the satellite, you have to have a sat phone. But with this kind of low latency network coming into play, with 6G coming into play, you will be finding yourself having a single phone when you can use the satellite communication as well as in the smartphone. So with this kind of scenario, when you talk about the satellite and the space assets, it is very important to protect those assets also from any kind of cyber attack. And nobody better than you guys sitting in front of me are the people who will be helping, protecting those space assets. As he rightly said, collaborate with those guys who are working in the domain of space tech and try to fix the problems which you might foresee in times to come, when this integration of the space communication with the ground communication, this connectivity will increase. And it will not increase, it will be in the hands of everybody, right? Today, it is a silo system. But if I have got a connectivity in my hand, so I can reach the satellite, then I can create some wrong things also. So how do I protect this kind of communication which is going on? How do I protect systems which are on board there? It is very, very important. As he rightly said, you launch a satellite, you forget about it. And it's not only about the satellite. There are weapon systems which uses the space domain. So I think it's a great opportunity for all the business people to think about how you create those kind of business, problem statement and try to solve it, collaborating with the industry, which is saying is thriving in Bangalore. Thank you very much, Satyam, and I'm so delighted that you have accepted our proposal. And very, very congratulations to you. I'm sorry that Vinayak is not here and General Bhatt is engaged. But yes, the MOU is signed and we will definitely put on the ink right now, because it needs to be signed by Vinayak and General Bhatt. But we are announcing today, like he announced, the Prime Minister announced the formation of ISPA, and today is a great day. December 2024 will go long way in the history of cybersecurity. Cyberspace and space will come together. Jai Hind. Thank you very much. Thanks.
The loudest round of applause on that fantastic milestone. Thank you so very much, sir.